Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Ultra, and welcome to an exciting new adventure. Today we're going to be checking out Pathfinder Kingmaker. This is an RPG based off the Pathfinder tabletop game, and I've been super excited to try this game for so long. I'm ready to go on a grand adventure, and I really hope you guys will come with me. With all that being said, I'm not an expert at all in tabletop games. I have a little bit of Warhammer experience, but not too much otherwise. So I hope that you'll learn with me and play with me as we go along. I'm not going to be doing a min-max guide. This is going to be a fun playthrough. I've only kind of tested out the opening scenario. So as we go deeper into the game, please drop any tips, tricks, comments below, and really try and help us out while we continue on this great adventure together. Okay, with all that being said, let's hit new game. We're going to be doing the main storyline. Sit next. We're going to be doing difficulty on normal. And the character, here we go. So these are pre-built characters we can kind of pick from, which I found out by testing it. But we're going to be creating our own custom character. And creating a custom character is actually a lot harder than I originally thought. There's a lot of mathematics and numbers crunching that goes into it. But we're going to be creating, what I want to create for this campaign is a human warrior or fighter, they call it in this game. So let's actually go to human. So humans gets us a +2 to 1 ability score, which means in these abilities, so your strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, to one of these categories, we can pop in a +2. We also get an extra feat, and we're also getting an additional skill rank at first level and 1 additional rank whenever they gain a level, because we are skilled. Okay, so we're going to hit right-handed. We're going to do body type 1, which is the medium builds. The face I like is actually going to be this one, specifically because it's the only one, face number 6, that actually has any kind of real personality. Hairstyle, I would like to match this picture of my character, so I think the actual best hairstyle might actually be number 2. In black, of course, and that kind of looks somewhat similar. In terms of beard, there's the gnome beard, Viking, mutton chops, like a priest, a fencer, or a rogue, a medium beard, a dad beard, and then this, the afternoon shadow here, which I think that's what we're going to be going for with this guy. So we're going to hit next. I think I'm happy with this. And again, I've tested this out to kind of pre-build my character idea that I wanted to have. We're definitely going to do fighter. And there's a bunch of subclasses like Aldori Defender, which is like dueling swords, or there's a tower shield, or there's a two-handed fighter, which is like a two-handed massive sword. But we're actually going to be doing is a shield bash type fighter. So we're going to hit next on this. And there we go. There's our picture, and we're all at neutral here. We're going to have to try and figure out how we're going to put points in. Now, I'm actually I'm using a guide. I'm using a little bit of a guide here to try and figure out how to do this. You do want a lot of points into strength. You also need at least 15 into dexterity, and you also want some points in constitution. And you also want some points into other things like perhaps intellect. You can do charisma for persuasion purposes. Intelligence, for example, is knowledge of arcane and knowledge of the world. Wisdom will give you lore knowledge of religions, and just general perception. And then charisma is, again, it's about persuasion, character's ability to manipulate other people through negotiation, deceit, or intimidation. So persuasion is actually pretty valuable. It's actually really valuable. We even get a little class skill check mark for that. So let's use our actual race. Let's figure out what we want to do for our racial bonus. Let's just keep on popping points into here. So we're at 17 now, 15 minimum. For the Shield Bash Knight, you need to have 15 minimum for dexterity. Because basically what happens is we need a special skill that allows us to attack with our offhand. And you need to have 15 dexterity to be able to do that. So... and this is all going to help the offhand, like the shield bash damage. You want to have it decently high, but you don't want to necessarily sacrifice too much else. Now, for the racial bonus, which is because I'm human, I get 2 points into something else. I might actually just put it into strength. And I'm actually generally happy with this build. 18 strength, 16 dexterity, 14 constitution. I think this is pretty fair. This is pretty fair, and I'm pretty happy with this. We're going to put a point into our class skill. So let's just put a point. So far, we've got 4. If you put a point into the skill points with a class skill, it'll actually, instead of going up by 1, it'll go up by 4. It'll double. So the athletics will actually go to 8. So we're the athletic knights. We're definitely going to put a point into that. I'm definitely going to put a point into persuasion. That's actually pretty good to have. And then we got to decide what we want to do with our last point. And I think it's going to be, it's a tough one if you want to do lore nature or knowledge world. So yeah, lore nature is hunting, identifying monsters, recalling knowledge about dungeons, or you want to do knowledge world, which is detect forgeries, decipher writing, identify monsters, recall knowledge about geography, history, people, and places. It's a tough one. If I was a hunter, for example, or like a ranger they call it in this game, I definitely go lore nature. I think though, because I'm the knight, I think I'm going to do knowledge of the world. Right? And we're going to get 4 points in that. I think this is what we're going to do. I think I'm very happy with this. Okay, so you know what? We're going to go ahead. Next screen. Now here's a little bit more complicated. We've got 2 feats to pick from, and plus we have our bonus combat feat. So there's feat and combat feat. They're a little bit different. So first feat we're going to pick in is, let's go look. We're going to need to do, let's see where it is. 2 weapon fighting, which is going to give us the ability to fight with our weapon and our shield. Next, we're going to go to toughness. Again, I'm using a pre-built kind of stratagem guide for this, so I'm not coming up with these out of thin air. And yeah, we're going to go into a little bit why I'm picking all these different specific things. So 2 weapon fighting is going to, the penalty for your primary hand lessens by 2, and the one for your offhand lessens by 6. Normal. If you wield a second weapon in your offhand, you can get 1 extra attack per round. When fighting in this way, you suffer a -6 penalty to your regular attack. So this basically lowers these debuffs, whatever you want to call it, the negative modifiers, by being able to have this ability. So this is going to allow us to strike with our weapon and then strike with our shield and bash the guy with our shield. Toughness, we're going to get +3 hit points for every hit die. That's good. It's going to make us just a bit tougher to kill. And now for our bonus combat, we're going to be picking the good old-fashioned Shield Bash. There it is. Shield Bash. This is actually going to give us the ability to attack with a shield. So not only do you need 2-handed weapons, but you actually need to pair that with Shield Bash. So it costs us an extra feat. So if you're just like a rogue and you have 2 swords, this is all you would need as far as I understand. But because we're going to hit with a shield, it's a specialized trait. We also get... these red ones are the ones unavailable to our character, but we also get everything here that's in green. So we're going to get heavy armor, light armor, medium armor proficiencies, martial weapons, shield proficiency, simple weapon, tower shield, 2 weapon fighting. There we go. So we're going to hit next, and we're good to go. Okay, now let's first of all choose the voice. What kind of character voice do we want to have?
Their life ends here.
These are all a bit cartoony. I'm not going to lie to you. They're a bit cartoony, but they're not bad.
I'll carve my name onto your flesh.
Madman's a bit too mad.
Our time has come.
Pious is a bit too pious.
I won't give up. Forwards!
Brave is okay. It's a bit bravado, but...
I feel faint. The path is clear.
Reserved is a bit too reserved.
Let's hear you cry.
Like, everything is, like, more... Like, see, whatever the word is here, it's like that plus 10. Like, it's very aggressive.
I'll go ahead.
Pragmatic.
Someone else would make better use of this.
It's too roguish.
I sense something. Ah, entertainment.
This is a grumpy. That's obviously a dwarf. I think I'm gonna do...
We do it my way.
We're gonna do confident. We're gonna do confident. We're gonna enter our name here, and we're gonna enter a custom name. Of course, we're gonna enter our name, and we can also enter our birthday. And yes, for those who don't know, it's actually back by 1. Our Ultra's birthday is actually on Free Slushy Day. Okay, yeah, it's 7-Eleven. So actually, I should probably say anyone who's not from America watching this, 7-Eleven is free slushy day at 7-Eleven in America. Okay, let's actually choose our alignment. So alignment is going to see what kind of character persona do we want to have in terms of our goodness or evilness. So let's you pick a neutral character, a lawful good, a neutral good, or a chaotic good. I think what we're going to do is we're going to be a kind of character, because I'm going to try and RP this again as much as I can. We're going to try and be a character that's chaotic. Chaotic means chaotic characters follow their conscience, resent being told what to do, favor new ideas over tradition, and keep their promises only if they feel like it. But generally, we're going to be good. So we can do chaotic neutral. But neutral is kind of like, I don't know. I think I can do chaotic good. Like neutral is kind of like, meh, I can go either way. I can, help this squirrel or squish it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna, neutral to me is going either way. I think chaotic good is, I'm a chaotic character, but I still try to do the good thing, right? So I'm gonna do chaotic good, and let's go next.
I have no use for this.
And here we go. This is going to be our character. Yes, strength 18, dexterity 16, constitution 14. Good. I'm very happy with this character build. Honestly, I'm very happy with it. We got the shield bash, we got the toughness, proficiency. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's start the game, guys. What do you think? We ready to go? Let's hit complete and jump into the opening sequence.
Our story started at the mansion of an Aldori sword lord. Drawn by the promise of a most dangerous task and a commensurately huge reward, heroes of all stripes gathered here.
So some parts of this game are actually kind of like choose your own adventure type with the on paper they call it, because that's like the essence of this Pathfinder type game. It's a paper RPG that you'd play on tabletop with like a book and a rule guide, and they've now converted it to computer. So when you see scenarios like this with images, you'll see a character like this. This is obviously me. I think it's designed to be Hedwig, like the pre-built character, but this is obviously us. And we'll meet all these characters as we get into the game, and especially this saucy little fellow right here. Okay, let's hit continue.
Where are they? This is taking forever. They didn't even say what this was for, just that the Aldori were looking for heroes. Who are the Aldori anyway? Rich folk?
Okay, so let me introduce you to Amiri. Amiri is our local barbarian lady with a giant, enormous sword who takes no lip from anybody. And here I am on this side with my name and my custom portraits.
If you can't be patient, no one's keeping you here. Just go back to your mountains or whatever hole you crawled out of. The Aldori Sword Lords run the premier school for the dueling arts. They're also the richest and most influential group in this part of Brevoy. Take that tone with them, and they'll teach you some manners pretty quickly.
So the Aldori Sword Lords arose from fame when swordsman Baron Syrian Aldori agreed to train a select group of pupils in his dueling techniques. So that's who the Aldori Sword Lords are, so you know. And in Brevoy is a relatively young nation, having only existed since 4,499 AR. I'm not sure the lore on that. The history of Brevoy before this time is the history of two often warring nations, Issa and Rossland. The coming of Coral the Conqueror changed all this. Okay, so there's going to be tons to read. I'm going to try and read an RP as much as possible, but if things get a little bit too wordy, I might just ask you to pause the game and read it at your leisure as we try to keep the flow going a little bit, okay?
All right, you purple toad, just shut your trap. And if you can't, I'll help you.
Hush! Quiet! They're coming.
Greetings, everyone. I am Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori, and this is Lord Mayor Yosef Salimius of Restov. Welcome to my mansion.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for responding to our call. You may be few, but that's unavoidable. We need only the best of the best for this task. And I see true heroes before me, strong and fearless. Exactly what Restov needs.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Now, to the point. South of here, just beyond Brevoy's border, lies a region known as the Stolen Lands. This is disputed territory, and while it's long been claimed by nearby states, it's never been truly taken. I won't bore you with the legal technicalities. Suffice to say that anyone with enough courage and power to seize the stolen lands and name themselves Baron or Baroness, claiming dominion, well, none of the neighboring states would be able to challenge it. Of course, Restov would be first to recognize the legitimacy of this new state, as well as the noble title of its founder.
So that's the premise of this mission of, pretty much I don't know how far down this mission goes into the game, but there's these stone lands just to the south of us, which we'll see on the map a little bit later. And we basically have to deal with the thugs and the gangs there. And then once we do that, we'll be able to potentially call ourselves Baron over the lands. So this lady here and this mayor is giving us the opportunity to do that.
Unfortunately, one serious obstacle stands between you and this title. A gang of bandits holds sway in the stolen lands. Their chief, who they call the Stag Lord, considers himself the rightful owner of these lands, and no one has yet been able to challenge his power. Bring me his head, and you'll be able to return to the stolen lands as their legal ruler. Any questions?
There's a whole team of us. Who exactly will receive the Baron's title?
I will, of course. I'm the leader of this team, after all. Don't worry, though. I'll make it worth your while to help me.
We haven't yet begun, and you already speak of divvying rewards. What makes you think we'll even succeed? There's little point arguing over who gains the title when we'll most likely lose our lives there.
If I may please answer the question. We believe you're all equally deserving of a noble title. Over the course of your expedition, it will be up to you as a team to decide which of you is best suited to rule.
Why not just recognize this Stag Lord as Baron?
That's a good point. As I see it, this Stag Lord already holds power over the region with confidence. Many noble bloodlines were started by bandits who just got lucky, weren't they?
Perhaps because we do have standards to maintain. This room has seen many celebrations of adventurers, and even those who just got lucky. But giving a noble title to a bandit lord? That's one thing that's never happened here, and it won't while I still breathe.
You're helping us found a barony. What do you gain from such generosity?
Don't ask stupid questions. Why should you even care? What they have to gain and why, that's for Lady Aldori and I to discuss. It's none of your concern. Your only concern is to swing your sword around or whatever it is you do.
Of course, we stand to benefit from this enterprise. But if you're concerned that we intend to rule your country from afar, using you as a front, well, please know that these concerns are unfounded. Let's just say that we have a strong interest in the region's stability. We have need of a ruling power we can negotiate with, not bandit gangs and monster hordes.
What is that smell in the air? Is it the smell of unspoken words and political intrigue?
See, I was thinking the same thing she was thinking. Something is going on. There's more to the story than they're telling us. What rewards could we expect exactly?
And what reward would you seek beyond a noble title and your own lands?
We'll absorb the costs of preparing and equipping your expeditions. Once you return victorious, Restov will also allocate you a significant sum to provide financial support for you to establish your country. Essentially, we'll help you build your capital. I hope such a reward is satisfactory.
Words, words, words. Significant, financial. I can't fill my belly with pretty words.
She's the best.
Of course. There will also be an official banquet held in your honor. All of Rostov's high society will gather to celebrate your feat.
Now you're talking.
It's clear as day.
Excellent. You venture forth tomorrow. For now, you can take some time to get to know one another better. Or you can head straight to your guest rooms to get some rest. You'll find we've already prepared supplies for you there. And thank you again for agreeing to take part in this expedition. I wish you luck.
Thank you again, with all my heart, for replying to this call. The flare in your eyes reveals your courage, the unshakable will that distinguishes true heroes. I look at you, O champions of Restov, and doubt not for a second that you'll be victorious. So venture forth toward your feet. Go, and return in triumph.
Okay, I wish I actually had a picture of this guy here, but they're missing a portrait of Yosef Salimas.
Hi, my name's Lindsay. I'm a bard, though this is my first real adventure. So, shall we go teach this stag lord a lesson?
What do you want from me?
Nothing weird, don't worry. I just wanted to ask you something. How do you feel about this Tartuccio fellow? I think he's pretty obnoxious personally. He appointed himself head of the team, and he's just after the Baron's crown, or whatever it is barons wear. Doesn't matter. I don't like him. I think you should be team leader. When I first saw you, I couldn't help but think, now here's a real hero. Someone who'll be praised in poems and songs. This is the person I'll write my book about.
I'm no hero, just a mercenary.
And what are you a mercenary for? Is it only riches? Or maybe you want glory, too? Don't you want your feats to be remembered and glorified for centuries? Just listen. You know what the trouble with most heroes' biographies is? They're always written years later, based on the tales of, best case, people who saw things from the outside. Worst case, someone heard about it from their brother, who heard it from their friend, who heard it from their cousin, and so on, adding a new batch of lies each time. Every time I read about a heroic journey, I think to myself, why didn't they just bring a bard with them to write it all down properly? And then I thought, I could be that bard. I just needed to find a suitable hero and volunteer to follow along on their glorious adventure. A great plan, huh? And here we are, with a heroic journey lying before us. Who's going to be the hero? Some dwarf who keeps muttering about how we'll all die? Or maybe that horrific scythe lady? Or, God's forbid, Tartuccio? No way.
What about that barbarian? She looks pretty heroic. I think her name's Amiri.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic. You can tell she could tear a bear's head off with her bare hands, but she kind of scares me just a little. But, I mean, her sword's twice as big as I am. She could cut me down without even noticing. Just think on it a bit, all right? I'm sure you'll agree. All right, I'm going to my room to write about tonight. See you in the morning.
Okay, so that's the end of that dialogue. Oh, so here's the first step. So here's, if you actually hit the J key, it'll open up our journal, which is where our quests are. So here it is from Lindsay. My quill takes its first sip in the ink pot and scribbles the first lines of the book about the travels, adventures, and victories that lie ahead. The book that will extol both its hero and me, its author, Lindsay, the note to self when I come up with a fancy nickname added here. I'm writing this in the banquet hall where Sword Lord Jamundi Aldori has just finished telling us about the mission that lies before us. Tomorrow at dawn, our team will set off to the Stolen Lands in order to accomplish glorious feats. This is where my book begins, and the gods themselves can't say what will happen next. Alright, so our first quest, leave the hall. We have a long road ahead of us, but we all need to get a good night's sleep. Fortunately, Lady Jamundi has graciously given us each a bedroom in her mansion. I have to admit, I'm so excited that I won't be able to even close my eyes. Fortunately, I had a chance to talk with the future hero of my book. I think Ultra is just the person I was looking for. Excellent. All right, so let's actually look at our skills and what we've got. So if we go to inventory with our I key, there's our shield. We've actually got a heavy shield, a longbow, a long sword, and a bunch of torches. We've got scale mail, 5 armor class. And what's this actually going to do? I think that armor is actually going to, it's actually going to give us a little bit of a penalty to mobility, stealth, and the heavy shield and the scale mail armor is going to actually negatively affect our athletics a little bit. So I'm kind of happy that I put all those extra points into it because we'll need it to be able to do stuff. But yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Okay, but there we are. That's us. And here we go. Now, I don't know if I need the longbow. I'm not sure I'm going to be doing too much bowing with it. But, I mean, I guess it's good to have just in case. But... yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I need the longbow. We'll see how it goes. Now, let's go look over here at our abilities. So we've got charge, which allows us to charge the targets. Movement. Yeah, I know. It wants us to move around. There you go. You just click the mouse and we move our character. We've got our Shield Bash, which is automatic, and we've got our Treat Affliction, which is lower religion check. If a check exceeds the DC, the affliction is removed. This is a disease or poisoned character. We've actually got Fighting Defensively. We've got Coup de Grace, which I've never been able to use successfully. And we have Acrobatics, which is going to allow us to move through without provoking attack of opportunity. And what that means, I'll get into a little bit later. We've got this Demoralize thing here as well, but that's it. That's all our abilities for now. So it wants us to actually leave the hall. So let's just check out, actually, there's something to look at here. A large map of Brevoy and surrounding daughter with numerous cryptic marks and notes. Here she is here, Jamandi Adori. Get some rest before the road. You've got a difficult journey before you. And then here he is, this guy here. I'll double the guard for the night as a precaution. Yeah, there's not much else you can talk to here. What game is Jamandi playing? I don't want to be a pawn. Yeah, they're up to something. Here's Tartuccio. Tomorrow a glorious journey begins. Are you ready? I hope so. I don't need layabouts on my team. Okay, Tartuccio. Harem. Just general adventures. Yeah, so we can actually move the camera around with WSAD. Look at this crazy. It looks like an elf with like a crazy staff. But that's it. There's nothing else to look at here. So let's head towards the door. Oh, there is Kaisi. What I call her, I like to call her Hell Girl because she looks like, you know, Hellboy, but only female. So very imaginative, I know. Northern architecture is very beautiful, but very heavy. Okay, so let's actually do the quest and go to the next room.